Are you in a relationship? Nope. I'm lonely. Next question, please. Hello, everyone. In this video, I'm going to answer some of the questions that you guys send me on Instagram. You know the drill. I'm going to try and answer as many of them as possible, but unfortunately, I can't answer each and every one of them, so please don't be mad. Okay, let's start from this very simple question. How old are you? I'm 21. I will be turning 22 in September. I was born on September 21st, 2000, just so you know when to wish me a happy birthday. Where are you from? I'm from Naples, Italy, in the south of Italy. What's your favorite book? You know, I love reading. As you can see, well, there's a much bigger bookshelf over there, which you can't see right now. Mainly, I like classic books. And my favorite one, I guess, is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I think it's such an underrated classic. Well, not really. I mean, it's one of the pillars of English literature. But when you ask people that haven't really studied Frankenstein, what they think about it, they say, you know, oh yeah, the monster, the creature, and the mad scientist and whatever. But it's so much more than that. It's such a deep story. I don't think I've ever read a deeper book. Also, it's really easy to read if you're just starting to read in English. That's actually true of a lot of books that were written in the 19th century. They're very simple from a syntactic point of view. Another book that I really love, this is not a classic, although it's about a classic story, is The Song of Achilles, which, by the way, I read before it was popular on TikTok, just saying. What is your favorite English word and its definition? Use it in a sentence. This is a really interesting question. I'd never thought about it. My favorite English word, I really like the word mesmerizing. You know, to mesmerize means to hypnotize. So mesmerizing is an adjective that means captivating, magnetic, enthralling, beguiling, bewitching, and so on. You get the point. If I had to use it in a sentence, I would probably say something like, your eyes are mesmerizing. That's a really flirty sentence. Can you please give us tips on how to have a better American accent to sound like a native? Actually, I have a video just for that, about the American accent. I will leave it linked right here. Miriam asks, where did you learn English? Well, Miriam, I started learning English from a very young age because in Italy, they start teaching us English right in elementary school, sometimes even like kindergarten. You know, they start exposing us to the language. They start teaching us words and basic phrases. But when I was in middle school, I started to get really interested in it. And so I began watching a lot of movies and series that were in English. I started reading books in English. And so that really helped me absorb the language and learn it so well. So you could say that I'm mainly self-taught, but at the same time, like, I learned the basics at school. Do you go to university? Yes, I do. I'm actually almost done. I will be graduating in a couple of months. I have my last exam next week, so wish me luck. By the way, at university, I study foreign languages and literature, in particular English with Anglo-American literature and Spanish with Spanish literature. Watching TV shows and movies totally in English, subtitles as well, is a good way to improve your skills. Yes, absolutely it is. As I was saying earlier, that's the way I learned. The reason why I always say to activate your subtitles is because that way you absorb the language not only with your ears, but also with your eyes. You know what I mean? Like you can actually see what you're hearing, and that's a really good way to remember some words and pronunciations as well in English, because if you do it in your native language, so if you activate a translation, then you will get distracted from English, which is your goal in that particular moment that you're watching that TV show or movie, you know? So I always advise people to activate subtitles in English and to really just enjoy what you're watching. Maybe even rewatch something that you've already seen and just really have a great time. Does being an Italian make it easier to learn French and Portuguese? This is an interesting question. Well, in a way, yes, but not completely. Since Italian is a Romance language, and so is French, Spanish, Portuguese, Romanian too, they all share very similar words because they all come from Latin. But overall, you really need to learn the language just like everybody else. I guess it's just easier to approach the language because when you see it, it's not like completely unknown to you. Especially when you see it written, there's a lot of words that you're going to recognize. But then when it comes to actually speaking the language fluently, then you need to work hard. What are you using on your hair? So, for my hair, well, first of all, I have curly hair. Well, you can't really see it right now because it's in a bun, but usually I straighten it because it's just so much more manageable. I'm constantly doing things and sometimes I just can't be bothered with my hair. But I like to take care of it. So I always make sure to, shampoo, condition, then I use a leave-in conditioner. Sometimes I use a gel to make my curls last longer. Then when I'm straightening it, I always use a heat protectant. So it's just, those little things to protect your hair, to just make the most out of it that I guess have really helped. Before I started doing videos on TikTok, my hair was down to my waist. I had really, really long hair. I always loved having long hair because when I was a child, I wasn't really allowed to have long hair. You're a guy and you should have short hair. That was the typical thing that people would tell me. But then as I started growing up and I started realizing things about myself, I said, you know what? I want long hair and I'm just gonna let it grow. Speaking of hair, I wanna see you in shorts hairs. Okay, there's a mistake here. It's hair, always singular when we're talking about this hair. If you say hairs, you're talking about individual hair strands. That being said, here's a picture of me with short hair when I was I think I was about 12 or 11 in this picture. Yeah. How to memorize difficult English words. So the way I like to memorize words is actually use them. There's a really good website that will help you with that. It's called youglish.com. If you type in a word or even a sentence, it will show you a bunch of examples of that word being used in YouTube videos. And I feel like that could really help you memorize it because you're actually seeing that word in context. What fascinates you the most about the English language? I think just the fact that English is spoken in so many countries, and so it has so many beautiful varieties. Yeah, I would say just the fact that we can use English to communicate with people from all over the world. It's become a kind of lingua franca. How many times have you been in the UK? Just once. I went there when I turned 18 for my 18th birthday. My parents bought me that trip. And it was amazing. It was my first time abroad. I had never been outside of Italy before. So I really enjoyed it. The only thing that really, really pissed me off was the fact that the Big Ben was covered in scaffolding. Insert picture. So I'm really looking forward to going again because I want my picture with the Big Ben. But, whatever. I enjoyed it anyway. It's such a beautiful place, such a beautiful city. I really liked it. The best movie for learning English. Well, I don't know about movies, but I can tell you that a really good series to learn English is Friends because it's just so simple. And it's a really long series, so it will keep you company for a really long time. And also, it's a really enjoyable series, so you will not get bored. When we don't know the gender of a person, what should we use instead of she, he, her, and his? Well, actually, in English, there's a genderless pronoun, which is they, which can also be used for a single person. So, for example, let's say someone forgot a jacket somewhere. And you find it, you can say, oh, someone forgot their jacket, because you don't know their gender. Do you think it is possible to become fluent in a language without ever going abroad? Yes, it is possible. Just watch content in English. Expose yourself to that language. And also, you know, if you have a friend that speaks that language, talk to them. See, them. I don't know who this person is. Just try and speak the language as much as you can and to hear the language as much as you can. And then, of course, if you have the possibility to go abroad, by all means do it. It's a wonderful experience for you, for your language skills. But if you don't have the opportunity to do that, just know that all hope is not lost. The English that I know today, I've learned here in Italy, in the comfort of my home, which is kind of sad. Yeah, but still, it's possible. What are your biggest passions? Thank you so much for asking this question. My biggest passion is actually music. I love singing. I've always loved singing. I love art in all of its forms, but especially music. I love musicals. By the way, when I went to London, I watched Wicked, which is my favorite musical, on the West End. And it was just fantastic. That was actually the first thing when I went there. I was like, I have to watch a musical. And I could only watch one because they're very expensive. And I did not have any money back then. And recently, I've discovered a new passion for dubbing, especially animated movies, because I'm a hardcore Disney fan. How do you do your eyebrows? They're amazing. Thank you so much. Well, I don't really do anything, you know, it's just Italian hair. I'm very hairy, so these are my eyebrows. You know, sometimes I like to fill them in a little bit to make him a little bit more defined, even more defined, but yeah, I'm just naturally very hairy. I tweeze them, I have to tweeze them like every 3 to 4 days, because otherwise I will have a unibrow. La costruzione happened to, non riesco a trovarla sui libri. I will say this in Italian because they asked me in Italian. Allora, happen to la puoi tradurre con si dà il caso che. Ad esempio, he happens to be very attractive. Si dà il caso che sia molto attraente. Sembra essere, risulta essere molto attraente. Puoi tradurla così. What was the most difficult part of learning English? Well, for me, it probably was prepositions, because sometimes you're tempted to use the prepositions that you would use in your native language, but they're different. When and why have you decided to teach English? Thanks for your videos. Thank you for watching them. I decided to teach English back in 2020, in the middle of the pandemic. I had just downloaded TikTok and I saw a bunch of people teaching things, you know, like cooking, recipes, yoga, and so on. And I was like, well, what can I do? I speak English relatively well. You know, I have a C2 certificate. So I was like, let me just try and teach English. And fortunately, it worked very well. You guys really seem to enjoy it. And at first, I only had an Italian audience because I would teach English in Italian. But then my audience started to become more international, and now here we are, 5 million on TikTok, which is crazy. Thank you so much, guys. I will never stop thanking you. Monday is my speaking exam. Please give me some tips. Well, I don't know what kind of exam it is, but I will say this. Be relaxed. Don't worry. Don't worry about your pronunciation too much, and don't worry about grammar too much. Just try and be relaxed and have a nice conversation with the examiner. And I wish you all the best of luck. All right, that's enough questions for today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, activate the notification bell so you never miss any of my videos, and you could also send me a super thanks to support my work. Thanks for watching. Bye.